Okay, we are live. Everything seems to be working all right. One second. I think I might need to paste the live stream into the Discord, maybe. Jurassica, hello. How have you been? How's your week been? Give me 1 second. Sorry. We will get started on the sculpting really soon. Just gotta copy and paste this link. Tencastian. Hey, what's up? Wild Nugget. Hello, how are you? Live stream. We are going. Copy this tag, put this here. And then hit that in the Discord. Hope that works. There we go. Okay. Link is up. So let me get the chat back up really quick and we'll get started. Sorry guys, I try to have the stream scheduled ahead of time, but this week has been ridiculous, so I did not do that. I should have done that. But yeah, okay, here we go. Peru, back on the Peru. We're gonna keep working on this foot, on this leg, finish the details on the feet here, and then probably get started on this arm. So yeah, I'll just resume what we were working on. Let me isolate this. There are no big distractions there, and we'll get going. Yeah. Question. This is a general question, since no one has answered yet in the game questions on the Discord. Will there be parasites like for dinosaurs? If not, I have a very good idea if you would like. Feel free to post your ideas if you want. If you want to talk about it here, that's great. I'm not aware of anything regarding parasites. But if you want to talk about it, that'd be cool. You can also probably post it in the Discord if there's like a section for game design ideas or like mechanics for the game, feel free to suggest it there. But yeah, I'd love to hear your idea if you want to share it. Onyx, what's it like in America? What do you mean? Like in general, like the weather, like what is, in general, fine. Are you, yeah, I don't know. That's kind of a very broad question. I mean, yeah, I'm not quite sure how to answer that. Are you asking like my mind goes immediately toward like political stuff, which is not the funnest stuff to talk about. And I'm not the most educated on those topics either. Like, I'm an artist. I spend my day with my head buried in, you know, ZBrush and Photoshop and stuff. So that type of thing is not my specialty. Life. So I live in Oregon, which is a pretty good. I don't know if you're from. I'm assuming you're not from the States. That's why you're asking. I live in Oregon, which is a pretty cool state. At least the part I live in. It's very. I like the weather here. It's very rainy. One of the reasons why I like living in Oregon is because the environment is just very cool. Like the forests and the plants and the trees, like the trees are gigantic. We have a lot of like redwood trees, cedar trees here. It's very moist, you know, like all year round. So there's lots of moss and stuff. Like we have old growth forests here. Like if you're familiar with like so the Lost World, Jurassic Park Lost World, that whole sequence with the Stegosaurus herd was filmed in the Olympic National Park, I believe, which is, it's not in Oregon, it's in Washington, but it's the same sort of like look and feel. It's the same kind of environment, like biome. So if you want to imagine what forests in Oregon look like, that's what they look like. It's old growth forest, very mossy, lots of ferns. I think they used the Olympic National Park as a filming location for Walking with Dinosaurs as well. I can't remember what section it was. But I believe they did that. So that's really cool. Yeah, overall, I mean, I wouldn't say it's like, you know, America in general is like a perfect place to live, but I'm pretty happy here. I don't plan on moving. I did actually have an opportunity to move to New Zealand last year, but that didn't really pan out. Who knows? Who knows where things could go? Yeah, it's Onyx. It's not like, well, it is kind of in the winter. It's rainy, like almost constantly. Rainy and cloudy. Like once around October, November, it'll start to rain, and then pretty much I'm not seeing much of the sun until like, I don't know, end of March. That's pretty much how it goes. But I don't necessarily mind it. And I like by the end of the winter, I'm kind of over it. Like I definitely want to see the sun, but I do like rainy weather. I grew up in Colorado, which is not a rainy state. It's much drier. There's a lot of snow in the winter. Very cold. So we didn't get a lot of rain. So like whenever it did rain, it was kind of like a special, you know, it was like a special occasion sort of thing, like a special event. At least in my mind, because I really like the rain and we didn't get it very often. So coming to Oregon where it rains a ton was pretty nice. Bradley. Hey there, what is your gaming career story? Did you go through art school to get where you are today? Have you worked on many other games? Bradley, good question. Yeah, I can go over that pretty generally if you'd like to learn about it. So yeah, I did go to art school. I went to a college in Colorado called Rocky Mountain College of Art and Design, which is a 4-year art program. So it was kind of funny because I initially was thinking of going into graphic design because for some reason in my head, I thought that graphic design of all of the like separate disciplines of, you know, visual design, I thought graphic design was like the most likely for me to get a job because I was very concerned about, you know, there's that perception of artists, you know, when somebody says they want to be an artist, there's like people just think they're just going to be poor their whole life, and you know they're not gonna get any work, they're not gonna make anything, and then when they die maybe they'll be famous. So that's like, that was definitely in the back of my mind when I decided to try to be an artist. It was kind of scary. My family, I'm the first in my family to try to go to college. I'm the first in my family to leave my hometown and go to college, go out of town, to a totally different city for for college, all that stuff. So it was all new stuff. So it's pretty scary. But I did go to college. I took a tour of the campus, Rocky Mountain College of Art and Design, and I was very lucky because during that tour, they were having their like annual student show, like student art show. And the thing about that show is pretty special because they take over the whole campus. Like the student show covers the entire campus, every single building, all the walls. Each building is dedicated to a separate major. So they had interior design, graphic design, illustration, the game art department. Well, it wasn't game art, it was animation at the time. So I was very lucky that that was up, because when I was walking around and taking a look at all the artwork, we set foot into the illustration department building, and the illustration department was just, in my opinion, it was the quality of the work, the subject matter, the variety in subject matter, like just the overall execution. Like you could tell that these students were taught very differently from the rest of the college. Their foundation in art was like extremely solid. It was very high quality work. So when I saw that, I immediately changed my mind. I said, I don't want to be a graphic designer. I want to major in illustration. So I did that. I switched my major to illustration, started school that fall. And then, 4 years later, I graduated with a bachelor's degree of fine arts in illustration. So that's the beginning of that story. But during my time in school, my junior year of college, I learned about a internship that was available at a studio called Direwolf Digital. You can look them up if you'd like. I still work there with them, as well as lots of other things that I do. But Direwolf Digital is where I started working on video games. So at the time, so I applied to that internship, and I was fortunate to get it. And during that time, we were working on, if you guys are familiar with a TV show called Mystic, no, it's not. What the heck is it? It's slipping my mind. I can't believe it. The Big Bang Theory. The Big Bang Theory, the TV show. So in The Big Bang Theory, they play I guess like a made-up card game called Mystic Warlords of Ka, I think. And that's the first game that I worked on as an illustrator. The Direwolf Digital specializes in like online trading card games and like tabletop games. So that's primarily the stuff that I have worked on. I did some, well, I can't talk about some of the stuff I've worked on, honestly. I don't think I can. But yeah, Mystic was one. I did work on Elder Scrolls Legends. Probably, yeah, I don't want to mention a lot of this other stuff. They do a lot of stuff. Lots of different card games, online and tabletop stuff. So That was for a long time. That was the most exposure I had with video games. The next big thing that I worked on that was a video game project was actually that I can talk about at least is Kyoryu. If you guys are familiar with that, it's a video game being developed right now from Floating Rock Studios about genetically modified dinosaurs in like a post-apocalyptic Japan. So I worked on the design and the models for the T-Rexes, and well, you look at the first trailer for Kyoryu, I pretty much did all of the dinosaur models in there. The dad Rex, the baby Rex, all the Dimetrodons. The second trailer, I worked on I don't know if I can say which dinosaurs they are specifically. I'm not sure if they announced it, but there's sauropods, there's pterosaurs in there. I worked on the raptors. And then most recently, I got another job working on a video game that I can't really talk about yet. I'm really excited about it. And of course, you know, I'm working here with the team on Echoes of Extinction. So that is the story in a nutshell. If you have any questions for me, like regarding specific things, I can go into more specific stuff, but that is the very generalized story. Onyx, you're doing graphic design? Yeah, I really admire graphic designers. I wish I was better at graphic design, but something about it just doesn't click with me. So no, I hope I wasn't knocking graphic design. It's just, yeah, I'm much more of I'm much more of an illustrator. Like I gravitate towards that much better, and I don't think I would have been a very great graphic designer. There's like, of course, design. There's principles of design that apply to both disciplines, as you know, but I'm much happier doing this. Oh no, Onyx. The modeling thing came about as a entirely separate thing. Like it's kind of strange. In college, I was actually kind of discouraged from doing any kind of outside thing, like aside from illustration. Like the faculty there, they were very great and really skilled and highly knowledgeable people. But one thing that they did emphasize is, like, you know, you need to specialize. Like you should really focus just on one thing, get really good at that. Because that's how you like carve out place for yourself, like by getting really good at like a specific thing, and then you can market yourself in that way, right? But for me, I was interested in video games. Like the illustration department, you know, they at the time they were more geared toward like book illustration, comics, children's books, just like more like fine art sort of illustration stuff. which I was not interested in. I wanted to be a concept artist for video games. So I started learning a lot about the video game pipeline, like what's all involved in all of that, all the skills that I needed to develop for that. And the thing that I don't know if I consciously realized it, but the thing that I just started to like want to learn about is I wanted to learn about the whole pipeline, not just my part as like a concept artist. Excuse me. Like I wanted to be able to, I think the thing that was, I guess maybe frustrating is that like I didn't want to be stuck. So like imagine sketching out a cool design for a character and then really wanting to see that character in 3D but not being able to do any 3D. Like that's where I was. I didn't want to be stuck due to like my own like limitations in, I guess, the medium. So that's where I started to learn how to take things to the next stage, which would be sculpting, texturing, all that stuff. And I think one of the reasons why is because a lot of the games that interested me were like more like indie dev and indie development. The teams are much smaller. A lot of people in those teams are doing multiple jobs. They're not just doing, it's not like a big studio where you have one person doing one single job and then you hand it off to the next guy and they do the next thing and so on and so on. Like one person generally has to do the work of multiple people. So I was seeing artists post their stuff online and they're like, okay, you know, I did this concept and then from the concept I did this model and then I finished the textures and now it's in game. And I was like, oh, that's really something that I would like to do. So that's where I think the inspiration, I guess, or maybe the spark for that, the drive for that maybe came from, which is totally contradictory to what they were trying to teach me in college. And they kind of just didn't get it. Like, I don't know. I tried multiple times to explain why I was devoting my attention to certain things. And they were just like, no, that's kind of a waste of time. I don't know if you're going to use that. You're better off doing this other thing. I'm like, I don't know. I can be a little bit, it's probably a good thing though, that I was a little bit stubborn and I didn't want to do that because I don't think I would have the skill set that I have now. Or maybe it would have just taken much longer for me to develop it. But I'm pretty happy with the range of, you know, abilities that I have now in different stages that I can be useful in a production. I think I saw the trailer, Bradley. I saw the trailer with the 2 Rexes. That's so cool. Thank you. Do I have any specific pieces of personal work that I could talk about as favorites? Oh, that's very hard. Personal work that I have as favorites. I haven't posted a ton of personal work online. A majority of the stuff that I have online is client related stuff. Let me see. Maybe I can refresh my memory a bit. My own stuff. I mean, there's certain pieces of work that I find they're not necessarily my favorites, but they're like there's a lot of sentimental attachment to them because they're just like kind of breakthroughs in stuff that I was going through or stuff that I was trying to learn. If you take a look at my ArtStation page at the very bottom, there's a rendering of Astrolobinator. This one. And I think this one is it's one of those standout pieces of work for me because excuse me, it's the very first time that I really like tried to take paleo reconstruction seriously. Like I really wanted to get this animal as correct as I possibly could get it, which was not the Australopithecus is not the best choice to do that with because Australopithecus is probably there's definitely more fragmentary stuff out there, but Australopithecus is pretty fragmentary. So I don't think I picked the best animal to try and learn all that stuff on. It was super, super challenging. The amount of research that I had to do. And I'm not saying, by today's standards and by my own standards today, right? This model does not stand up to what I would like to see of a Australopithecus or like a Megaraptor reconstruction. Because we've learned so much about Megaraptors, and just like the general look and feel of paleo reconstruction has changed since I made that. That was, man, when did I make this? Must have been like 2015, 2014, 15, maybe even earlier. Yeah, I'm not saying it's like the best Australopithecus there ever was. But for me, it stands out because it's the first time that I had to exercise all of those muscles of like having to dive into all these papers, compare and contrast all these different anatomical features, just really try to do like a more rigorous paleo reconstruction from the ground up. So that's why that guy stands out to me. And to this day, I really have a soft spot for Megaraptors. I think Australopithecus, if I had to name like one of my favorite dinosaurs, Megaraptors in general, and then Australopithecus would probably be in there. They really grew on me during that time. Onyx or Bradley, could you send the link? Onyx, are you asking about the Kyoryu trailer? Bradley, or perhaps least favorite, like maybe a piece of work that was really frustrating to you. Oh, I mean, if you want a list of, it's much easier for me to have a list of work that I don't like of my own, than it is for stuff that I do like. I mean, most of the stuff that I don't like, I don't post at all. Because I'm just not, super proud of it. I only post stuff that I'm usually like really generally happy with. Like maybe it's not perfect to me, but I'm happy. I'm comfortable sharing it because I feel like it's of a certain like quality. But yeah, I like I guess Bradley, if you looked at my my gallery, like I think a lot of the maybe the second I did this thing called Draw Die November, and I did two series back to back, 2015 2016, I think, and the second batch, the second round of Die November, I did post all of them, but I am not super happy with all of those paintings. I just feel like honestly, like, so people who do these 30-day challenges, if they are indeed doing them like each day, each day they're actually like deciding what they want to do, actually doing the image on the day and posting the image on the day. If they're doing it that way, that is, to me, is crazy, because I don't think I'll put myself through that sort of stress, and like it was very stressful, and I felt super rushed. I felt really like not happy with the quality of the paintings that I was doing because I was rushed. I still had so all this stuff I'm doing, up until a certain point, all the paleo art stuff I'm doing, especially at that time, was just on the side. Like, it was just extra, like, supposedly fun stuff, but that wasn't really that fun. Yeah, it was very it was super stressful because I had like work. I had work the whole day, and then I had to get that painting done, post it, and then the next day it would just start over again, and there was no way to get ahead of it. And I had to do that for the whole month. So by the end of the month, I was exhausted. And then because I don't know, maybe naively, I thought that you had to do it that way. Like, if I didn't do it like the day of, then it wasn't like real or whatever. And then come to find out, like, the majority of these people who do their like 30-day challenges, they have their posts like stacked up, like a long time before the challenge even starts. So I was like, well, that makes sense. It's a better way to do it. I wouldn't have to stress myself out if I did it that way, but yeah, it's not the way it's not the way I thought they were doing it. So if I did another 30-day challenge, it would probably have to be done that way. I don't know if I'll ever do that again, though. But yeah, all of those guys I'm not super. The experience was a little bit kind of scarring, I guess. Thank you, Onyx. Alex Lorenzo, can't wait to hide in the creek as Peru. Yeah, that's gonna be fun, the whole ambushing stuff. can you grow in the game, or are you at max size from the beginning? I believe you can grow in the game. I think. You might want to fact check me on that, though. Okay, so I think I need to focus in here. So I don't really, it's kind of hard to get a good sense of what's going on inside the leg, like on the inside here. I have one reference for that, because obviously there's not a ton of people who get to like flip a croc over and take a picture of the inside of their leg. So we're working with a little bit limited data here. From what I can tell, it's kind of boxy, and I haven't really been doing the boxiness correctly. I mean, the scales are a little bit boxy, is what I mean. They're almost like, they almost look like little bricks. If you were to try to make an analogy with the pattern. Wild Nugget. By the way, I forgot to ask last time, a while back, we talked about the integumentary sensory organs. I believe you said you added them. I'm guessing there will be a mechanic like the IL's dino sensors. I haven't added those yet. Are you talking about the sensory organs on the muzzle? Like the little pits? I think maybe they have them on parts of the body overall, but I could be wrong about that. I do see little pits on some of the scales on the croc here, but I'm not sure if those are just like pigments or if they are part of that sensory system. If you know, Nugget, please, let me know. And if there's a detail like that that you think would be cool, then I can try to incorporate it when we do like the super refined passes on this guy. But I still have that in mind. I'm still going to add that. So I just haven't gotten to that stage just yet. Yeah, they're so they will be nearer to the end of the modeling because they're so tiny. I have a special like brush or like a it's an alpha that I made specifically for that type of detail. That I will be using to do that. But yeah, I need to jump onto the face and like make it much more detailed before I can add that final touch. That's probably going to be one of the very last things I do because they're so fine, I want to make sure that the skin on the textures and stuff on the face look pretty solid before I add that kind of thing. So that's pretty much how that's the flow, at least. It's not these need to not feel so harsh. We'll have to go back in here with a sharper brush and define. all these things. Okay. So I don't have any. I don't think I have any reference of this backside of the leg here. I might need to go and find some really quickly. Let's see what pops up. I think it's probably my best guess would be that they're more square, like the other side, like the outside of the leg. Maybe slightly smaller. Yeah, we'll go with that for now. I'll see if I can find better refs. But I don't want to waste a ton of time, like, just staring at reference images. Basically, what I'm thinking is happening is this pattern is just wrapping back around. In this area here, it's probably going to get, the scales are going to get tinier because this is an area of like stretching and compression. But here, I think they're going to be fairly similar to like how they are here. Roughly square. So I think that's my best bet. If I find some better reference, I'll change it, but I think that's probably safe. Oh, sorry, I'm yawning. Ghost, just working on the legs today. Yeah, trying to finish up the legs if I possibly can. Although I think I'm being a little bit too, probably should start blocking in all this stuff. I want to actually make progress on this. I think I'm getting bogged down by a little bit too much like fine detail stuff. So maybe for a moment I need to focus on just getting this like all massed in. I need to pay attention to the flow though. I found a decent pic of the underside of a crocodile leg for the forearm scales. Oh, cool. If you wanted to, how would you get that to me? Maybe you can post, if you're part of the Discord, maybe you can post it in, if they have like a reference section or something, and tag me. I can find it there. You can try posting the link to the image in the chat there, but I'm not sure if that's that'll work. Ghost, are the other devs working on other dinos / animals? Yes. I'm not sure if I can share what they are working on, but yes, there's at least that I know of, there's another dev that's working on another dino. same size. Very tiny. Let me see where. So you're not just the Dino Man. Ghost, let me see. So you're not just the Dino Man, lol, and y'all come out with the full other couple of days ago, really excited for it. No, I'm not just the Dino Man. There are multiple modelers on this dev team. I'm going to be responsible, so far, I'm going to be responsible for the Peru, the EO, the Orano, and what else? So far, that's what I'm doing. I did help out on the Purussaurus and the Coelophysis. I did the base like models and stuff for that, but other artists will be taking those over. Same thing with I believe the galley. I believe the galley has already been announced. If not, I'm very sorry that I just said that, but I think it's safe to say that. I think that's it. I think that's the list so far. So the Peru is going to be, obviously we're working on it. We're working on it here on stream. So that's going to be, our stream dino, although it's not a dino. That'll be our stream dino. And then aside from stream stuff, I'm working on the Eocarcharia right now. Getting that it's pretty close to being ready. And then after the EO, I believe I'm going to shift focus to the Oranosaurus. I don't know what the next stream dino will be. We're going to be on the Peru for a while. Because we still have lots of details to do. We still have the textures to do. I mean, the retopology and all that stuff to do. I'm not sure if I'll do the retopology on stream. I don't know how interesting that will be. If you guys, you guys can let me know if you would like to see some of that. If you're interested in seeing literally every single step, or if you'd rather forego some of those stages, because topology is I guess it can be interesting, but it's just it's going to be me making squares all over the model. There are devs working on sorry, not just yep. Sorry, I'm catching up to chat. I don't know where I left off. Let me check for you. Namrith. Sorry if I'm messing up your name. Let me check on the Discord. I would say it's a suggestion. So if you feel like you can put it in suggestions, put it in there. Yeah, I think that would probably be the most appropriate place to do that. And just tag it. I don't think anyone will say anything about it being like in the wrong spot. If they do, you can just tell them it's my fault because I told you to, or I asked you to put it there. So it shouldn't be that big a deal. Hey Void, how are you doing? Bradley, I don't suppose you know if they have a QA team. Bradley, I don't know. I'm assuming they do because every game has a QA team, but I can't say for sure if I've met anybody from the QA team. Or if that's like, yeah, I can't say for sure. Ghost. Really excited for the game. I played the last demo and really like everything I've seen so far. That's great. I'm glad you like it. Can you maybe, what do you think is what was your favorite part so far? Or what stood out about it to you? Because I haven't had a chance to play the game. So I would be interested to know. Hi Void, I'm doing pretty well. How about you? Yeah, just trying to get as much done as on these scales for the leg as I can today. I think I've been talking a lot more than I usually talk, which is actually really good. But I'm also really bad at multitasking. So I don't know if I'm progressing as fast as I could be. But yeah, how are you? How are the so for those of you that don't know, if you saw the thumbnail for the stream, Void has been working on skin ideas for the Peru, and that skin that's on the thumbnail is one of Void's concepts, which looks pretty cool. I am excited to texture the Peru and try that skin on here. I think what I'm going to do, I haven't ran this past I haven't run this past Islander yet, so I'll have to see what he thinks. But I think what would be cool if on stream I did. So I'm going to do some concepts for the skin also on stream. But I think what would be cool is doing one like one of my ideas on the skin, and then maybe doing one of the other concept or skin designers on ideas, so we can have two different versions of the Peru. That way I can kind of demonstrate what it's like to work from somebody else's stuff, and like because there's certain considerations and certain things that it's just a little bit of a different experience working from a concept that you made versus working from something somebody else made. So I think that would be interesting. Shape here. Ghost. The ambience with the fog and the rain, but also like the tribal human bridge you can find in the game. It looks amazing and runs really good. Nice. Evan, haven't played the demo, but love the work that's being put into the game and the direction it's going. Awesome. Thank you. King Cashton, hi, I'm finished with my parasite mechanic. It's 2,000 words. Wow. Thank you for telling me about the suggestions. I forgot about it. It took me an hour to complete. No worries. That sounds like a pretty in-depth explanation of the mechanic. So it'd be interesting to read. Thanks for adding that. So you put it in suggestions, so I will see if I can find that. There are a lot of channels. I'll probably look for it later because I can't see the channel right now for some reason. But thank you for adding that in there. So I'm not happy with this little area here. It's like there's a weird shape with the scales there. And it's getting kind of lumpy. So I'm going to take the trim dynamic and flatten this stuff down. Because I don't want it to feel like it's puffy. It's not a good thing. I'm actually going to do that to the everything overall. One thing that's kind of cool, a cool effect to achieve is kind of this feeling of like where like kind of be stuff that's kind of burnished, like kind of a surface that's being rubbed up against stuff a lot of times will have this sort of smoother, like flatter feel. Whereas everything underneath that ridge or whatever was contacting the surface will still have its texture. So that's kind of what you can achieve with this trim dynamic. You can kind of hit those top surfaces and knock them down while the other surfaces beneath it stay detailed. Not that this is super detailed anyway, but you can start to get that kind of burnished feel where all these outer scales here are going to be knocking up against things while they're walking, swimming. So they may actually get a little bit of that wear and tear, whereas the deeper parts are going to be left pretty much alone. Ghost, can't wait for the next update for the demo. Literally checking Discord every day. Okay. I am just checking chat to see if there are any questions. Still have a good amount of time. This is going to... I'm going to take a snapshot of this, the front side, and then that will help me complete the back, I think. Okay. I'm kind of reworking this little area really quick because it was bothering me. Scales were not feeling like they were in the proper orientation. So no worries about the reference image. Maybe we can find a solution for that thing in the future. I'm not exactly sure how to do that. Maybe I can ask to have a specific section made for like stream suggestions. So that way people who want to send helpful references can do that. Another option is that when this stream goes up on the channel and you're able to comment on the comment section, maybe if you have time, if you remember, you could post a link to the image there. That's another option. But yeah, I'll see if that's, because that's not the first time that someone has wanted to send me an image for reference, and I think it'll probably be useful in the future. So we can try to figure that out. Sorry about that. Sorry, it was kind of awkward for for sharing stuff. I need to resolve that area. I want to move to the foot though, because that needs to get started. I'm going to save morph target. Okay, so how are these scales on the foot working? So they're sort of triangular. I mean, not triangular, square-ish, and they kind of radiate from the heel. Like there's like trackways that kind of come from here, and then they kind of spread out this way like this. Then once they get to the toes, they start to they're kind of diamond shaped, maybe. They're like angled. Kind of like crisscrossed at the start. It's pretty complicated, honestly. See if I can get a good view. They do have larger scales on the top of the toes. They kind of overlap. Okay. Then we'll have to detail the claws. Maybe we can do that right here. So the claws that I'm looking at, they have scales that are kind of like trapezoidal. Like this. They overlap pretty extensively. The one behind, or the one behind overlaps pretty extensively, I mean. They're kind of irregular. They don't, I mean, they're roughly trapezoidal, but they don't have like a set shape. This leading edge here is very wobbly. See if I can find a better image. See all my leg reference there. I wonder if I already have that one. I don't think I do. And this one's pretty good too. Bradley, honestly, just watching you work away here makes me really appreciate the work put into games, the amount of time and patience gone into this alone. So cool to see. Thank you. What's your Discord at? My Discord at is just, it should just be at RAR, RAR. Discord web suggestion. Web suggestions. Nice. Thank you. Yeah, these are very cool. Yeah, this one of the underside of the belly is really nice. This one of the claws is good too. Thank you. That is super, super helpful. Yeah, so these claws are going to be one detail that I really like incorporating into claws is actually maybe kind of counterintuitive. I think a lot of people, they're like, oh, this is a big reptile, it's got claws, they should be really super sharp and very threatening and stuff like that. But really, there are definitely reptiles that have those, but a crocodile's claws aren't used for like catching anything, right? I don't even think they hold down their prey or anything like that with their claws. So in reality, when you look at the claws, they're very dull, the tips of them especially, because they're constantly wearing them down. And they're not like I said, they're not like predatory. They use their mouths to catch prey and kill prey, not their claws. So they're pretty blunt. So I just think it's a cool detail to incorporate, because I don't know, I think subconsciously people may not know this sort of thing, but I think This type of detail kind of helps ground everything a little bit more. Makes it feel more believable. So I am doing that to the claws here. It's not necessarily a detail that I always encounter with crocodilians, because I don't. This is maybe like the second. Yeah, this is the second crocodilian I've ever sculpted. I'm usually working on theropods, but this happens. This is a detail I like to incorporate on theropod feet too. I just think it looks cool. I am, let's see, I'm finding this resolution a little bit. I might have to up-res. I can subdivide a lot more, so it's not a big deal. Awesome, thank you for the reference. Will there be multiple different humans or just one type? You know, I'm not sure. I don't know much about the human, the plans for humans right now. It's a good question, though. This webbing in here is gonna be fun to detail. Kind of like the texture that's going on there. I do think I need to, I will definitely need to subdivide the mesh up for that though, because it's already starting to feel a little bit pixelated, I suppose is the word. I don't want it to feel... And what's interesting is that this croc looks like it's got some damage here. Like it's got a cut. If I'm seeing that right, it looks like it's cut here on the webbing. We won't be able to incorporate like detail like that, I don't think, because I think it's too specific, but this type of stuff is really fun to do. So once it starts getting up here to the foot, the, you know, this sort of area, the metatarsal, is when it starts to like get a little bit more complicated because it starts to merge in with the rest of these scales that are happening here, and they have a different directionality to them. So something like this. Ah, okay. I see the reference images that you posted. That's pretty interesting. That foot, it looks like it's pressed up against the glass, maybe, or I'm wondering if that is like, if it's pathological, like if it's so I have never seen scales that shape before. They're very wide and very like kind of I guess blobby, maybe be what might be the word here. I'll put it onto my ref sheet so you guys can see it. This. Pretty interesting. And cool. Thank you. Yeah, I will put these on the sheet. Copy image. Put this over here. This is cool though. Like you can see right here the wear on the underside of the claws. That's kind of what I'm trying to go for. These are definitely super cool. Like, well, you know, they're interesting. I'm not sure if they're... I'm guessing there's some kind of pathology. Like maybe this guy has like some maybe there's some sort of trauma to the foot or some sort of like something happened to this guy, because I haven't seen a foot like that in a croc before. Normally it's like this texture all throughout, like this texture here. I have one, let's see, like this. They do have pads. They have like kind of pseudo, but they're not like big and round like that. Or maybe it could be like specific to that species. I'm not sure. Underside of the forearm. Okay. I will note that. I see what you mean. That is a good shot of the underside of the forearm. Yeah, that's right. Thank you. Thank you for the reference. That will definitely be useful for the underside of the forearm for sure. That would be I would actually be a really cool detail for like if you were to design like a more monstery like croc. Like I think Resident Evil had a croc in like it was like a movie, or like it was more of a recent thing. They do have a croc in Resident Evil, the Resident Evil 2 remake. I think they have a croc in there in the sewer section. But I saw images of a croc for, I think it was the Netflix series, CG series thing. That there was a croc for. I saw it on ArtStation. And then I don't know if you guys play. There's a game called Hunt Showdown. And they have like I think they recently had like a bayou sort of themed expansions or event, and there was a big croc monster that you could fight on their map. That sort of detail would be kind of cool on something like that. I think I I also found a new favorite material or matte cap for ZBrush 2. This is actually a matte cap that one of my friends made and sent over to me. So yeah, thanks to him for giving me this. But I think it looks really nice, and it shows off the forms really well. And I've been using it a lot recently. So I think the bottom of the foot, the scales are super tiny. So what I'm going to do for that is probably make some sort of alpha that I can drag onto it. Because I definitely do not want to spend the time doing every little individual scale on the other side. They're just too small. So we'll handle that with an alpha or like some sort of tileable, because the repetition in that kind of area isn't going to be as noticeable. Plus it's on the underside of the foot, which is rarely seen. I don't want to like skimp on details just because stuff isn't often seen underneath there, but I think this is one area where a tileable or like a excuse me, a tileable or a alpha would be good. It'll be one of the undersides of the feet are probably one of the only places, a few places on the model where a tileable or an alpha will actually kind of work well. Because up until now we've had very like highly specific big scales that we've had to hand place on everything. So it'll be kind of a nice thing to show. I think I am a little bit tired today. I don't know why I'm yawning so much. I did actually get a pretty good night's sleep. So who knows? I haven't had my coffee yet though. We haven't seen the full body for a while, so I'll turn that back on. This area here feels just a little too intense. Just taking a look at everything together right now for a second. Okay. Okay. Getting there. Yeah, this is close to the end of the stream right now. So I think I'm going to be wrapping it up there. Still a little bit more work to do on the foot. I mean on the back leg. So I really wanted to get that done today, but I think we did get a pretty good chunk of it out of the way. Stream is still planned for next weekend. I'll try to get that scheduled much sooner this week, so that way more people can be notified and possibly join in. Yeah, thank you guys today for everything. Thanks for chatting to me. Thanks for sharing your references, your ideas. I look forward to talking to you next week. As always, keep a lookout on the YouTube channel, on Discord, on social media for any updates on the Peru, on Echoes of Extinction. Take a look at my social media sites if you want to. I have links to those in the description, and we'll pick up where we left off next week. Thanks again, guys. You've been really supportive and helpful on this, guys, so I really appreciate it. Have a good weekend. I'll see you next weekend. Bye, guys.